Nice shot. Hey everyone, did you know it's not just lions and baboons showing up in African cities? Behind the scenes, countries across the continent are struggling to control millions of invasive species every single year. It's a far more complex challenge than most people realize. So, what's fueling this rise, and what's the real cost of this relentless fight for survival? If you're curious, drop a 1 in the comments and stick around. Now imagine this, you're walking through the forests of South Africa, completely unaware that danger could be watching from the trees. Baboons, armed with powerful jaws and lightning-fast reflexes, might be tracking your every move. These primates share 91% of our DNA and are growing more aggressive with each passing year. And here's the real threat. Spotting one baboon usually means dozens more are close by, ready to back it up. The real danger isn't just that baboons are everywhere, it's how they behave. As opportunistic omnivores, they're always searching for their next meal. If you're carrying food, chances are they'll try to snatch it. Confronting them only raises the stakes. The rules are simple. Don't lock eyes, don't run, and never bare your teeth. To them, that's a direct challenge. The safest way out is to drop something edible as a distraction and slowly back away. In situations like these, hunters often step in as the first line of defense. But even the most experienced can be caught off guard without the right precautions. Sturdy barriers, typically 6 to 8 feet high, can mean the difference between safety and disaster. They run anywhere from $100 to $300, but for anyone hunting in Africa, they're more than worth the investment. Still, the bigger question lingers. Are we causing this conflict by pushing deeper into wildlife territory, or are we simply facing the consequences of our own expansion? These protective barriers are built to handle Africa's toughest conditions. They reflect harsh sunlight, stand firm against strong winds, and help keep invasive predators away from hunting zones. But make no mistake, hunting baboons in Africa is anything but routine. Before heading out, hunters must secure a big game license and study the land carefully. Baboons are quick, clever, and dangerously unpredictable, so preparation is everything. With your license in hand, the next step is choosing the right rifle, whether it's a Winchester .308 or an H&H Magnum .375. Both pack the power to take down a baboon, but accuracy is non-negotiable. One slip-up could put you in the hospital. If you found this insight helpful, share it with friends who are curious about the realities of baboon hunting. And let's hear your thoughts. Drop a 2 in the comments if you believe using a rifle is the responsible approach. Don't forget to spread the word so more people can join the conversation. So, what comes next? In places like Kruger National Park and Hangi National Park, hunters face enormous challenges each year, especially during the dry season from November to March. Hunting isn't a free-for-all, it's tightly regulated. Only a limited number of baboons can be taken, with strict rules in place to prevent overhunting and to ensure humane practices are followed. But by 2024, these controlled hunts had reduced the baboon population to just a few hundred, creating a more balanced ecosystem and easing pressure on farmland. The results have been striking. Agricultural yields improved, and regions such as Limpopo province saw a meaningful boost in economic recovery thanks to better protection of crops and livestock. Hunting has changed over the years. Rifles are no longer the only weapon of choice. Some hunters now turn to the silent precision of a bow and arrow. Each arrow is tipped with a unique bait mixture made from corn, gelatin, and fermented fruit, carefully crafted to mimic the irresistible scent of ripe fruit that draws baboons in close. Curious about the kind of bows and arrows African hunters are using in this video? The suspense builds with every steady breath and measured movement as the hunter waits for the perfect moment to release. Still, this method sparks heated debate. Critics argue that bow hunting raises serious ethical concerns, questioning whether it's humane to use such tactics in the fight to control invasive baboon populations. In some regions of Africa, sterilization has been explored as an alternative to hunting. But this method comes with major limitations. It can only be carried out under tightly controlled government programs, and the cost is extremely high. The big question is whether sterilization could ever truly replace traditional hunting, or if the cycle of conflict between humans and baboons will simply continue. For now, the answer is far from clear. If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure to like and subscribe for future episodes. Share your most unforgettable baboon hunting experience in the comments, and pass this video along to friends who want a deeper look into the challenges of managing Africa's wildlife. Gunshots have echoed through the air, and for good reason. Welcome back to Northwoods Pursuit, where today we're diving into a wild story unfolding in Olin, Texas, a town suddenly overrun by monkeys. That's right, thousands of primates have turned this once quiet community into their own playground. The Texas Department of Wildlife estimates between 2,600 and 3,000 monkeys are now roaming the streets, leaving behind broken fences, raided yards, and growing concerns about public safety. So how did this small Texas town transform into a monkey metropolis, and what's being done to get things under control? Stick around, because we've got the full breakdown. And if you enjoy uncovering unbelievable real-world stories like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. The monkey crisis in Olin didn't appear out of nowhere. It started with what seemed like harmless fun, locals tossing snacks to curious primates. But those free handouts quickly turned timid monkeys into fearless scavengers. Now they tear through trash cans, sneak inside homes, and leave destruction in their path. The result? A 30% spike in trash complaints and a sharp rise in health risks, with disease concerns from human-monkey contact doubling in just a single year. With the situation spiraling, officials are rolling out a drastic and controversial solution, an organized hunt to cut the population down. Only seasoned hunters are being recruited, each armed with a .222 caliber rifle, chosen for its precision and ability to ensure a swift, humane kill. 20 teams will be stationed across the most heavily impacted areas, targeting neighborhoods where daily life has been turned upside down. And to drive participation, the government is putting serious money on the line, a $500 reward for every monkey removed. The proposal has sparked heated controversy. Animal rights groups and many local residents argue the hunt is cruel and unnecessary, warning that wiping out large numbers of monkeys could disrupt the delicate balance of the ecosystem and create new problems down the line. Their pushback raises an important question. Is lethal force really the only option, or could a more compassionate approach solve the crisis just as effectively? To address those concerns, officials have introduced a non-lethal alternative, cage trapping. These heavy-duty metal enclosures are built with safety in mind, protecting both the monkeys and the handlers. Equipped with secure sliding or spring-loaded doors, the traps are designed to minimize stress while preventing escape. Wildlife teams place them in areas with the highest monkey activity, baited with irresistible treats like bananas, mangoes, apples, and nuts. Once a primate steps onto a trigger, whether a pressure plate or tripwire, the door snaps shut, capturing the animal quickly, safely, and humanely. This strategy strikes a balance, reducing the monkey population while keeping animal welfare front and center. And the results speak for themselves. Data from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department shows more than 2,700 monkeys were safely captured in 2024, a noticeable drop from the 3,800 caught in 2023. In just the past 2 years, over 2,500 monkeys have been relocated to wildlife reserves, giving them space to live freely without wreaking havoc in nearby communities. Still, the problem is far from solved. The invasive population continues to test the patience of residents and officials alike. Metal traps remain the most reliable option, but some locals experiment with homemade wooden traps, though they're harder to build and far less effective. Whether you're using professional equipment or DIY methods, understanding how each trap works is essential before attempting to capture these clever, elusive primates. So what do you think? Are these monkeys just a quirky twist of nature, or a serious problem that's spiraling out of control? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Press 0 if you're simply fascinated, 1 if you're genuinely concerned. We'd love to hear where you stand. While Olin deals with its monkey dilemma, another Texas town, Locke, is fighting a very different battle. Under the blistering summer sun, farmers there wake up to find their land ravaged by wild hogs. Picture it. Dawn breaks, you grab your morning coffee, and instead of peace, you're staring at shredded fields, broken fences, and months of hard work gone overnight. These destructive invaders aren't just a Texas problem. They've spread across much of the U.S., from the Lone Star State to the Midwest, leaving billions in damage and putting countless farmers' livelihoods on the line. Out in West Texas, farmers aren't backing down. They're turning to bold, innovative tactics to reclaim their land. Instead of relying on traditional hunting, which often scatters herds and makes the damage worse, many are now using massive pen traps. Picture this. A 40-foot wide cage built from steel panels 5 feet high and locked into T-posts, sturdy enough to contain even the meanest hog. Farmers bait the traps with corn and fruit scraps, leaving the gates open for days so the hogs get comfortable wandering in and out. Once the herd lets its guard down, the real magic happens. Trail cameras connected to smartphone apps keep watch until the perfect moment, usually when 30 or 40 hogs are inside at once. With a single tap, the gates slam shut, capturing the entire group in seconds. In one night, a farmer can take dozens of hogs off the land, protecting acres of crops from destruction. The results speak for themselves. In 2024 alone, farmers in Love County trapped more than 60,000 hogs, proving this method leaves old-school hunting in the dust. But the job doesn't stop once the hogs are caught. Wearing protective gear, farmers carefully load the animals into trailers to avoid injuries from razor-sharp tusks or exposure to disease. From there, USDA Wildlife Services takes over, either transporting the hogs to processing facilities or humanely culling them to reduce health risks. To keep the pressure on, farmers also reinforce their land with electric fencing and motion-activated lights, making it harder for hogs to return. These combined efforts paid off big. In Love County, crop damage dropped by 35% in just a single season, proof that modern strategies can actually turn the tide in this battle. Still, the larger fight is far from settled. Across Texas, the wild boar crisis has ignited fierce debate among farmers, hunters, lawmakers, and ecologists. Some politicians argue for open hunting seasons, claiming it gives locals the freedom to deal with the problem head-on. Critics push back, saying unregulated hunting scatters the herds, only spreading the destruction further, and instead call for state-backed trapping programs. Hunters fear those programs could edge them out, while ecologists warn that invasive hogs pose a direct threat to native species. And in the middle of it all, political gridlock in Austin leaves frustrated farmers scrambling to defend their land on their own. In states like South Carolina and Kansas, hunting wild boar is still a favored tactic, but it's anything but simple. These animals are fast, intelligent, and protected by a thick shield of fat that makes them hard to bring down. In South Carolina, veteran hunters often rely on high-powered rifles like the Remington 700 chambered in 6.5 Grendel, valued for its accuracy and stopping power. Lighter firearms, like .22 LR handguns, are brushed off as rookie gear with little chance of success. Meanwhile, Kansas hunters lean on a different approach. Late summer through early fall marks peak hog season, when archers take to the fields with compound bows for their unmatched precision. Corn bait laced with strong scent attractants draws the hogs in close, sometimes within 30 yards, allowing hunters hidden in blinds to take carefully placed shots. Hunting, whether it's tackling invasive monkeys in Olin or battling wild hogs across Texas, comes with a responsibility far greater than just pulling the trigger. Every shot, every trap, every strategy carries consequences for people, animals, and the land we all depend on. That's why true hunters value more than just the chase. They respect ethical practices, humane methods, and the balance of nature itself. At Northwoods Pursuit, we believe hunting is not about destruction, but about stewardship, protecting communities, preserving ecosystems, and passing on traditions rooted in respect. If you share that vision, stick with us, because the stories don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join us for the next adventure where we uncover the raw, untold battles shaping the wild landscapes of America.